Okay, so it's recording, and then I'll just go over the consent questions. So the first, do you have any questions from all of that?
So far, so good.
So far, so good? Okay. So the first statement is, I voluntarily agree to participate in this study, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. I agree to be audio recorded, we covered. That's still a yes?
Yes, 100%.
I agree to be contacted for follow-up research. This is just if after our interview ends, you know, in a month or two, if I'm like, oh, I just need to clarify something, or some new themes come up that I want to explore, would it be okay to be in touch with you again and see if you'd be willing to do another interview?
100%.
Okay, great. So I am going to just write oral consent in here instead of signature, and today is the 20th, and I will sign it. And then the second page is about follow-up. So we talked about follow-up interviews. Are you interested in receiving copies of the materials? So those would be any articles that are produced. The book, I probably will not have enough free copies to distribute to participants, but I can let you know when the book comes out. And, you know, all of this will be a few years on. So it's not going to happen right away, but if you're interested, if you're interested, then I would take other ways of contacting you that you're willing to share. Like if you're on Facebook, what Facebook name do you use? Any alternate email, phone numbers. That's just to maximize the odds of being able to find people again.
Yeah, 100%. I really do want to see what comes about with this.
Okay, great.
And so Facebook, I don't use Facebook. I mean, I don't know if Twitter, Instagram's an option, but my handle, my handle is the same. My handle is going to be Steven Mensa _.
So STEPHEN. No space or anything between first and last name?
No space.
Okay. Mensa, MENSAH?
Yeah, _. So that's my Twitter and
Underscore at the end, and that's Twitter and Instagram. Perfect. Do you have any other email addresses?
Yeah, so this one's my name, Steven Mensa 1027 @gmail.com.
Steven Mensa 1027?
Yes, that's correct, please.
@gmail.com. And are you comfortable sharing a phone number?
Yes, 647.
647.
679.
679. Okay.
262.
Sorry.
2682.
Thanks. 2682. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, that's all the formal stuff. And unless you have any other questions, I will dive into the interview.
We're good to go.
Good to go. Excellent. Okay, let me get organized here. Put that to the right spot. And here we go. There's my questions. Okay. First question is actually not on the list, but it should be. How old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
19, great. And can you tell me a bit about your current work or school situation? I know we're all under kind of house arrest at the moment, but maybe without the pandemic, what would you be doing?
So I'm a Ryerson University student.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to know my program?
If you like.
Yeah, my program is a double major in criminology and politics and governance.
Okay.
And Ryerson University. I'm a first year going into my second year.
Okay.
What else? And in terms of my work situation, I do kind of like I do too much. Like right now, I'm a facilitator with the City of Toronto.
Yeah. And what does that entail? What does it mean?
So like I just because specifically right now I'm working with the Toronto Youth Equity Strategy. So it's I'm sure you've heard of it. So like right now I facilitate certain programming and workshops focused on life lessons or education, money, finances, all that stuff.
Okay. For who?
For youth for youth, for youth aged
All youth or specific groups or
10 to 20. Yeah, no, not 10. Like 12.
12,
Yeah, 12.
12 to
Yeah.
20. Is it targeted at particular groups like?
Well, they're all across the city of Toronto, like downtown, but my quadrant or focus is the west side of Toronto.
Okay, which I know Toronto. What's the
So west
kind
would
of
be
streets? Yeah.
I'd say the Keelsdale, Eglinton, Western Road, Eglinton, Keel. Basically, Keel and Eglinton would be the point
Keel and
where
Edmonton.
one
Okay.
reaches.
Okay. Excellent. And so do you do the workshops there, like in community centers or something, or how do you?
Exactly. We go to community centers or sometimes the schools, not schools, libraries.
Yeah.
Libraries.
Yeah.
But it's one of those two.
Okay. Okay. Great. I suspect I'll be asking more about this, but we'll come back to it. So you're in summer now, I guess, going into second year university. Is this paid work, being the facilitator?
Yes, it is paid work.
It's paid work. Okay.
If we're talking about unpaid work, that's like a list. It'll take an hour.
Okay. Well, give me a sample of the unpaid work.
Currently I'm education lead with the Toronto Youth Cabinet. That is unpaid.
Yeah.
So what I do there is I have a bunch of young people. We plan and create an initiative to tackle, and I go to schools. I go honestly everywhere across the city where I can find youth. Talk to them about my plan and get them support, things of that sort. And I do research. We have a research team, media team. We're doing all of that. So
is that all
doing all of that
connected to the Toronto Youth Cabinet, or are those separate, like the research?
Yeah, that's all connected to the Toronto Youth Cabinet in my group.
Okay.
And I'm also a youth director at a community center.
Okay.
That's a volunteer.
Okay. Which community center?
It's called For Youth Initiative.
Oh. Okay.
It's also in the Keelsdale, Eglinton area.
Yeah.
And with that position, I promote education-focused programming within the youth drop-in space.
Okay.
And I act in an advisory capacity all the time. I act in an advisory capacity to staff, community partners, and board of directors, things of that sort.
Okay. Advisory, like you advise them on.
I advise them on the challenges affecting the youth in the community.
Okay. Did you grow up in this community?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, right. So you know it. Okay. Where do you currently live, and in what circumstances? Are you at home with family? Are you in shared accommodation? Are you in a house, an apartment? Just those kinds of things.
Yeah, so as of right now, I am living with my parents, both parents, and I live with my twin brother, and I also live with my sister.
Okay.
I have two sisters, but one of them is married and all that, but I live with one of them also.
Okay.
And what kind of accommodation? Yeah, so that would be with them, which same area, Keelsdale, Eglinton, just part of the city.
Yeah.
Was there another part to that question I missed?
Are you in an apartment or a house?
Yes, apartment complex, yeah.
Apartment complex. How big?
Our specific residence is 3-bedroom.
3-bedroom, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Is it, and again, you don't have to answer any questions, but I'm curious, is it part of Toronto Community Housing, or is it a private rental?
Months I've been trying to find out, but from what I understand, we get funded from the city, but it's not direct Toronto Community Housing. It's owned by some other people.
Like a rent supplement you guys get? Something like that?
But yeah, I know my parents get those, the rent to basic income, something like that. Okay,
great. My research, I've been working with homeless young people for a long time, and I'm also focusing increasingly on housing. So I'm just also curious about, what kind of housing is available in different cities, how people access it, that kind of thing. But it's also relevant in just kind of understanding where people are coming from, as much as you can in a short interview. So, okay. So, can you tell me about your educational background? You have started university. Sounds like if you're 19, you probably completed high school and went straight to university?
No, so like I took a year off, so
Okay.
I should be going to my third year, but I took a year off.
Oh, yeah. Because there's no grade 13 anymore. Yeah.
I came back to my high school for a semester to get more credits.
Yeah.
No, was it get more credits? Yeah, to get the credits I was left with, and then I worked the rest. So yeah, I finished high school. Obviously, I'm in university, took a year off.
Okay.
And I went to maybe this might be important too. Yeah, it will be important. I went to Ghana for 3 years to school. I was born here, all that good stuff. I left in grade 8, and I came back in grade 11. So that was another reason why I had to come back another semester to finish off my credits.
Okay. Why did you? I presume you went with your family at that age.
I went with my mom. My dad stayed here, and I went with my twin brother and my sister.
Okay. What took you and your family there?
I wish I knew. But it was mostly educational. That was the goal, education, so we can be much more better in discipline and education. I'd say religiously, just in the society too, in the area we live in as well. It was presumed that if we had stayed, who knows our path that we may have taken. Although I made firm that I would have still been a good boy right now.
Right.
But those were the three main parts as to why we left. So education, I guess the community we lived in, and I guess the religious aspect too. Okay.
So is that because your mom is from that area?
Yes, both my parents are from Ghana.
Okay, from Ghana. Okay, great. So for 3 years. So that must have been pretty interesting to leave Canada, go there for 3 years, and then come back. Was it?
It was
probably hard to summarize, but what was it like?
It was honestly, I don't regret going, to be honest, because it really did much. 100%, I owe my educational success and discipline education and passion for it due to going to Ghana, and I just grew in all aspects of my life. So I'm glad. And you get to see the different parts of because it's not like how you see on the 30 cents a day type of garbage. It's totally different. Obviously, there's areas where they are rural or very impoverished or whatever. Yeah. So you can find downtown Toronto with your eyes.
Yeah. Awesome. That's wonderful. It's a fantastic experience. Okay, and so educational background. Okay, so you started at Ryerson. You're continuing at Ryerson. Are you enrolled in a 3 or 4 year degree?
4-year degree.
4-year degree, double major. That makes sense. And do you anticipate going on afterwards? What do you imagine after university?
After university, I'm going to law school to get my law degree. Most likely, I want to go to U.S. to get a scholarship there. Because so far, I've gotten all scholarships to go into university, so I'm trying to keep up that level until I finish my school life.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Which scholarships are you?
So right now I'm applying for mostly community-based scholarships, what work you've done in the community. Those ones have been very successful. Yeah. And academic ones too. I got an entrance scholarship to Ryerson because I had above 80%.
Nice.
So
yeah. Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And can you tell me a bit about your parents' background? So they're originally from Ghana. When did they come to Canada?
They came, so my sister right now is almost turning 30, so they came probably I'd say 23 to 5 years ago.
All right, so...
give or take. Most likely, give or take. Because I know my dad came before my mom, and my mom came after.
Late 90s then?
Yeah, late 90s for sure.
Yeah. Do you know what brought them here?
My father had I know my father had a brother in the States. Yeah. And if I'm correct, I know he has family here, but I think he had a brother in the States, so he decided to just come to Canada as well. Or he had a brother in Canada as well, and then he decided to join. But he for sure had a brother in the States. Yeah. And I'm not sure if he had a brother in Canada.
Okay. And was it for economic opportunities or?
I'd say so, because like this Lincoln, before he even got to Canada, he had went to different countries. He had went to, I think, he had stayed in Italy, some different country, and whatever. Then made his way some country in like in Europe, whatever. Then made his way to Canada. So I believe it was probably work and educational opportunities as well.
Okay. Did your parents, were they already together when they came, or they came separately? You said your father came
married.
first.
They were married before they even decided to come. They were married.
Okay, so they met in Ghana. They were married, and then they came. Okay. But your father came first.
Yes.
And then your mom came with your older sister?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And what kind of education do your parents have?
So for my father, he did some type of program or whatever at York University or whatever, but he's interpreter for like the province or whatever. He's like one of those provincial interpreters.
Okay.
So he works with courts, hospitals, child services, etc.
Cool.
And then my mom, her I think highest level education was high school. Whatever high school.
Yeah.
And she's currently working in like the packaging food industry.
Okay. Did your older sister go to university?
Yeah, she graduated all that stuff. Right now she's a nurse at obviously a hospital. I'm thinking which one. I think Tobago.
Okay.
Tobago General, but no, Brampton. I'm so done.
Brampton.
Yeah.
They're all outside Toronto somewhere, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a bit about how you came to the work you do with the Toronto Youth Cabinet, or under the category of what you would consider activism?
Honestly, how I came, I feel like it's important to mention for me specifically that I only, like when I think of like politics and activism, I think of like kind of like kind of like a human connection, like kind of like understanding the issues that human beings face. And I mostly started to become empathetic when I was in Ghana. That's why I really find that my experience there was important, because like stuff that you saw, whether it's driving on the road or whatever, think about education, housing over there, education, poverty, and coming to Canada and seeing basically the same thing, in like they like to call Canada like a rich country, like in a country like Canada. So it's like that kind of like led me to my first activist political environment, which was volunteering for a campaign, the provincial campaign.
Okay.
The most recent one was my first one.
Okay.
And and so like hearing, knocking on doors, canvassing, like it was a new experience, but like it was the most rewarding, because like hearing people's experiences, like actually putting a face to what you always constantly hear.
Yeah.
Like hearing the same thing. Whether it's a housing issue, whether it's an employment issue, It just started to motivate me more to be like, okay, now something is not right. There needs to be a change. And I did back-to-back elections, which never again I'm doing. I did the provincial one. I canvassed for the municipal one, which was right after. I did the same thing for federal. So all in all, canvassing for all 3 elections.
Yeah.
Different priorities, different levels of government.
Yeah.
But I heard the same thing 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, I heard basically the same concerns. And it doesn't matter whether people really understood the difference in levels of government and jurisdictions, but the same concern was, I need money, I need new opportunities, I need a safer environment, community safety aspect, things of that sort.
Who were you volunteering with for those different elections?
So for the provincial one, I volunteered with MPP 5. He's currently won, thankfully. MPP 5 Zul Hassan.
Okay.
He's a new Democrat and MPP. For the municipal one, I volunteered for Chiara Padovani.
Okay.
She's Chiara Padovani, whatever. there's no party for that one. So
Yeah.
I mean, we know there's party, but like there's not a party.
Yeah.
For the federal one, I volunteered for another NDP candidate.
Okay.
Which is Yafet Tawal. Honestly, I want to say I'm split because like I kind of first was volunteering for the incumbent minister Ahmed Hussein.
Yep.
But then I'm like, I knew the candidate Yafet, so I'm just like, let me be loyal. And I actually believed in what he wanted to do, so then I just volunteered for him the rest of most of the way.
Right. Okay. Is Ahmed Hussein in your riding then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't live here, but
no,
he's
but
all right.
It represents. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, okay, so you came to activism. You were saying about kind of being in Ghana and starting to see the issues, coming back to Canada, seeing the same issues, and you began to volunteer for these campaigns. And then what led you? What happened after that? Like now you're in the Toronto Youth Cabinet.
Yes. After that, I'm just like want to take after volunteering with all these people and gaining networks and experience things of that sort. I just began to grow my own passions and interests, and kind of wanted to center which issues caught my attention more.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads into the Toronto Youth Cabinet. Education was the main thing,
mm-hmm.
because I remember I started this mini petition in regards to the cuts to education or whatever, to give a bunch of stack to the MPP to table in the legislature. But I'm just everyone was talking about cuts to education.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just I don't want to be following on the bandwagon. I mean, yeah, it's important obviously, but I want to start something kind of new.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it's an issue that's been talked about, but I want to kind of lead something myself. So I joined the cabinet. I'm let's talk about the issue that we'll talk about right now, which is we're trying to tackle systemic racism in the education system.
Great.
So then that's when I'm just and we know this is people have been advocating for decades, but I found uniqueness in that it can. I found uniqueness in that you see it. The most of the people who are advocating about this are the older generation,
mm-hmm.
not so much the younger people. And even within Black Lives Matter, that's even arguably mostly focused on police violence, police
mm-hmm.
brutality, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Not really centered focus on education. So
mm-hmm.
that's why I'm just you know what? Let me put all my focus on education and how it's affecting Black, brown, and Indigenous people, racialized people, Black, Indigenous, and racialized individuals.
So, are you finding do you feel as if the Toronto Youth Cabinet is a place where you are that the work you're doing is making a difference, or what's the experience like?
Well, after being there for 1 year, I mean it's hard at the same time too. It's hard because we are a municipal body in municipal legislation, whatever. So I'm kind of limited in what I can do.
Yeah.
But I have been able to tread the line and have a lot of leeway. And I guess it's about how you finesse it basically, mm-hmm. to still tackle the issues. Because at the end of the day, I can tackle the issues within the Toronto school boards, which is what people prefer. But at the same time too, I don't want to, for example, eradicate racism in one board. Yeah, it's happening in all the 72 school boards in the province. So that's been my focus. But all in all, it's been a good opportunity. Do I think that's a good place for me to actually influence and impact change? I say yes, because they do have a name. They've been there since Olivia Chow when she was city council, 20 plus years, so 1993, that's the exact one. Yeah. So they do have the name, they do have the clout, for example, so to say. So I do feel so far we've been able to do a lot of work.
Okay.
It's just about how we organize ourselves and how we how you go about it. You just got to be really careful and not specific, careful and meticulous or whatever, and how you do it, how I move.
Okay. But yeah. Okay. Tell me more about being careful and meticulous. And I'm curious about how. So you're at the municipal level. Toronto Youth Cabinet's been around for a while. How are the municipal politicians taking your work? Does it feel like they're listening?
In terms of my work, especially education, since especially what we're tackling, and education, all in all, is mostly a provincial thing. Though municipal does have some parts of it, but not arguably like childcare, after-school programs, etc.
Yeah.
But the politicians I've interacted with have been provincial politicians, so
Okay.
people from all. Like the education critic, Matt Stiles, or activation curriculum, and even members from the Conservative Caucus and former Premier Callie Wynn. These are like some of the people I've interacted with in my journey or whatever to kind of like get things done.
Yeah.
I guess in terms of I can explain like how my interactions with them has been.
Yeah.
It was receptive. I mean, from the what was it, right wing, left wing, the NDP liberal side, it's been receptive, 100%. Conservative side too, it was very receptive as well. That shocked me. I won't lie, it was very receptive. So, but it's like there's been receptive, but it's like it's always, I guess it's all words. And I've always made it clear from the get-go that I'm not here to just like shake your hand and take a picture. And I've actually said those words too. And I'm here to like see like how we can really take action on something that's been going on for like decades and years. Because not just, I always mention that it's not just a number. These people are not numbers. They're actually human beings. Like the amount of parents, students, teachers I've spoken to, I've been privileged to speak to, and while they're talking to me about the experiences, that's made me approach this more humanly, which I already did. Yeah. But I found a difference because first, and I'm so proud of myself on this one, because first I'd be in events or like deputation, whatever, and I'd be like 50% of this. I'd be saying the statistics left and right. But then now I've come to a point where I won't say the statistics. I'll say the actual experiences. Because I know the numbers, but the numbers aren't important to me. It's the people who actually represent the numbers that are more meaningful.
Yeah. Where do your parents rest politically? Like, are they supportive of this work, and have they been politically active? And
So, I'd say like my parents, especially in terms of work I do, they're 100% supportive of it. Especially how I can find the school work balance. But in terms of like where they lie politically, my mom is, I would say like votes more liberal NDP, 100%. Now my dad, on the other hand, he's conservative. He's voted conservative before, but he's also voted liberal before, so he's kind of, I guess, in the middle, center, whatnot. But that's where they would vote. And in terms of active, I guess one of the most important things one can do be civically engaged in is vote if they don't want to canvass or whatever. So they do vote in every election.
Okay. I think my dog is stuck. I can hear her making funny sounds. Can you hang on a sec? I'm just going to check on her.
No problem.